The thunderous boom of the storm startled Rindal from his slumber, shattering his dream. "Praise Estadon," he said, instinctively invoking the name of the Stormfather. His heart was racing, and he lay still for a moment longer, regaining his ability to think straight. The abrupt awakening purged almost all memories of his dream, yet a vague sense of loss and regret filled his mind. Shaking the feeling as best he could, he rolled out from beneath his old tattered blanket, stretched his limbs, and smiled. It had been over a month since this part of Caldria had seen rain, and he took the cloudburst as a good sign. "Today will be a good day," he whispered, rummaging through the pile of clothes in his small, dusty room. He found his gray shirt and dark brown pants. On multiple occasions his mom told him that the gray shirt brought out his deep hazel eyes, and the brown pants matched perfectly. "Rin, it's time to get up," his mother yelled to him. "The storm will be passing soon, and I need you to run to market for the weekly supplies." "Yes, ma'am," he replied as he laced his belt strap. Shuffling out of his room, he stopped to carefully pick at the pot of wash water from the stove, wrapping a rag around the handle to protect his hands. He stepped into the small washroom and filled the ceramic basin. The apartment was so small that he could place the pot back on the stove while still standing in the washroom. No sooner had he dunked his head into the basin, he reared back with a screech. The water was still cold. He took his mom's wolf-bone comb and brushed the tangles from his shaggy black hair. Grabbing the leather satchel that his father gave him a few years back, he headed to the kitchen for breakfast. He sat on an old wobbly wooden stool and picked absently at the splintered wood of the counter. "May I have a few extra tin bits?" he asked quietly, looking at his mother while she prepared a shopping list. She tilted her head, raising an eyebrow as she brushed her curly black hair away from her pale blue eyes. "What for?" "I want to pick up something for Alar's birthday. He'll be 13, and it's a big year for him." "We'll see," she said wearily. "I still need to finish a list of the essentials, and our rent is due this week." Rin nodded and grabbed a peach from the small wooden bowl in the center of the counter. He took a few bites and noticed that it had already begun to spoil. Frowning, he reluctantly finished his breakfast. "Can we add peaches to the list?" "Already taken care of. By the way, before you head off, I need you to fill the water jugs and store them in the cupboard." "Already taken care of," he said, slightly more mockingly than he meant to. The sour taste of the peach twisted his vocal cords as he talked. He quickly glanced at his mom, smiling just in case she noticed the mocking tone, but she appeared not to notice, frowning at the shopping list as if it made her head hurt. At last, she put down her stylus and sat back with a small cough. Flexing her sore shoulders, "I can only spare 15 copper, but if there's anything left after buying the supplies, you can spend it on Alar if you wish." "Thanks, Mom. I'm sure it'll be enough. Mrs. Whiteley gave me a voucher for a free handcart rental since I helped her with the carts last week." "You're a very good boy, Rin." His mother placed the thick sheet of parchment on the counter. "Your father would have been very proud of you," she added. Rin smiled wistfully as he looked at his mother. "I hope so, but sometimes I feel I'm proud of you," she interrupted. "So I know he would be." Still smiling, he stood abruptly, hiding a sudden swell of emotion. He rolled the shopping list tight and slid into his satchel, then slung the satchel over his right shoulder, letting it settle at the accustomed place on his left hip. As his mother handed him the coins, he placed a kiss on her forehead. She felt warm, too warm for this early in the day. But ever since her long illness a few years before, she still had some bad days. She patted his cheek. "Better get going. Be safe and be home soon." Putting the coins in the cloth coin purse, he headed out the door just as the storm clouds parted overhead. He tied the purse tightly to his belt and tucked it in behind his buckle. One could never be too careful with those loose coins. Although nowhere near as bad as the Barrens, the residents of the Commons still have sticky fingers. The crowded streets would make it very easy for a cut purse if Rin wasn't mindful. It would take him a few hours to walk down the smoothly paved streets of the city-state of Caldria, but he enjoyed the walk. As the dark clouds slowly separated, Rin looked to the sky and could see the bright, multicolored band of glowing lights known as the Ring. This time of year, the Ring had a brilliant red aura surrounding it. It was still in the process of rising to the center of the sky, a journey it would complete by the end of the month. Available now on Amazon. Check the QR code for all other vendors.